Going to do a short video today while being a good husband and warming up the car for the wife, because it's negative degrees here in the Midwest, and she lets me play, Warhammer every Tuesday while she's at home with the kids doing stuff. So, hard to beat that. So I want to cover a simple thing that people seem to ask a lot of questions about: drones. Asked what do you do with the drones? You can take 2 with most infantry or battlesuits units, 2 per battlesuit with the crisis teams. The obvious downside to taking them as a pair is they're very easy to kill, which becomes a problem if you have kill point objectives in whatever match you happen to be playing. Beyond that, they are squishy unless you're taking the shield drones. They, T4, 4 up invul, 5 up feel no pain, is annoyingly hard to kill in a lot of situations. So they have that, but gun drones, fairly easy to kill, not much harder than typical infantry. Same with marker drones. So assuming that you're concerned about the kill points, and you're going to take a tactical squad of drones, and you can do between 4 and 12 in a single unit. Personally, I love them for the markers, because stable platform, they're hitting on 5s. Pathfinders, if you're moving and firing, hitting on 5s. If you're giving to the Shazwi on the fire warriors and you're moving, you're firing, hitting on 5s anyways. So already the drones, if you're not just castling in one place, are already shooting better, or shooting the same. And for 10 points apiece, it's not bad, considering that they can also take shots and all that kind of stuff. They get better when you have a drone controller, obviously, and if I'm running marker drones, I am always running a drone controller with them, because being able to move and hit on a 4 plays very well, especially as I'm playing Viorla, and I'm advancing up with a lot of troops, and I want to get into good firing positions, and I like to play with a lot of terrain, so that I need to be able to move into a position where I can get line of sight on something I really want dead. So that's my plug for marker drones. However, I don't take marker drones just as marker drones, because they are squishy. It's a very easy way to lose 10-point models, and a lot of opponents know to kill the drones first at this point, because otherwise they're going to fire something big at one of your battle suits they really want to kill, and it's going to turn into 1 mortal wound, and you lost 1 10-point drone instead. So the thing that I'm doing, and I highly recommend to everyone, is however many drones you're taking, if it's 4 or 8 or 12, or you're taking some with the Pathfinders that get the extra, they can take the extra, the Pathfinder drone, whatever it is, the recon drone. Always take some shield drones. I do, for 10-person squads, I'm doing 6 shield drones to 4 marker drones. I do 3 squads of those typically, and I have them hang out on the rail sides. One of them has a drone controller, so I've got a dozen marker lights there, fairly reliably getting 5 marker lights on something at that point. On average, I'm getting 6 by the math. So that handles my shooting for my rail sides. But also, having those shield drones mixed in means if they target your drones first, they have to get through the 4 up invul and the 5 up feel no pains before they get to the soft targets. And it actually makes it a very hard decision. Do they want to try to hit the battlesuits and hope you don't get that savior protocol, or do they want to slog through the drones? And typically they'll still slog through the drones because it's better firing, but then they have to have volume fire to effectively go through the drones, and then heavy fire to effectively get through something like a rail side or a riptide, or even a ghost keel most of the time, especially taking shield generators. So they have to dedicate multiple different role units to taking on your drone cluster with your suits, if you're doing that. Now, that's just me with the shield drones, the marker drones, but same thing with the gun drones. I know several people like the gun drone build. If I weren't using them so much for the markers, I might take more gun drones, but I typically don't take any. But if you are going to take gun drones, I would recommend that, even if you're taking mostly gun drones, throw at least a few shield drones in there, because if they're dedicating anything with some AP so that you don't get that 4-up save or something like that against your gun drones, having a couple shield drones makes that a much more difficult decision for your opponent, because now they have to get through something that's a hardened target before they can get to your firepower. Also, it's nice to have the shield drones when you do use the Savior Protocol, because that look on your opponent's face when 3d6 turns into one mortal wound and then is saved by a single drone on a 5-up is just beautiful. That's the best thing about shield drones. There will be whining occasionally, like, oh, that's so crazy, but keep in mind that we are very squishy, as I was reminded yesterday, and you guys can see my post on that. Yeah, like our toughest non-named character has 7 wounds, and that's if you take an Enforcer. Coalstar's only got 6, with a 3-up save, and you have to put a shield generator on to get an invuln. They're not. We don't have a whole lot of things that are that difficult to kill. And some of you are like, oh yeah, Riptide with the Nova Reactor and the shielding, and yeah, we got a couple bigger ones that are tougher to kill, obviously, but on the top of my head, I think if you compare them to like Knights, Knights are still harder to kill. You get a 3-up invuln with the character Knight with the relic and the stuff, and they're like mathematically difficult to kill. Not a huge proponent of Math Hammer, but just looking at the sheer amount of firepower relatively that you'd have to bring, if you're facing a Knight like that, it's typically not even worth shooting at them. So if someone complains about, oh, things are hard to kill, remind them that, relatively speaking for the points, we are not that difficult to kill. 4-up armor saves nice in the infantry, but the 7-point infantry, versus like a guardsman or a grot or something where they're just, screening, we need them alive to keep shooting. 4-up's nice, but yeah, drones are our thing. That's how we stay alive. And marker lights are how we shoot at things, because we only get a 4-up BS on almost everything. So yeah, drones. If you're taking them, the point of the story is mix in some shield drones with some marker drones or whatever other drones you're taking, if at all possible, and it will make your drones that much more effective. It'll be a little less automatic. Oh, I just gotta shoot the drones off the board, because the shield drones are much more difficult to kill. And yeah, lots of utility, but bring the drones, bring all the drones. At like 1,500 points, I'm bringing 30 drones. Because drones. Yay! Okay, it's starting to get a little warm in here, finally. So, I do have a request next time. Somebody asked about how to effectively use Crisis Battlesuits. I've used them a few times effectively. I'll share that and some other thoughts I have on builds I haven't tried, but some theory crafting on some strategery there. The Math Hammer still doesn't love them. I think that there might be 1 or 2 things that are a little closer now in the Math Hammer, but their strength lies elsewhere. So we're going to cover that in the next video. So, like, subscribe, follow me, all that kind of stuff. Give me questions, I'll answer them. I'll more than happy to think about some strategy stuff and share it. Criticize me, whatever. So, peace out, guys. Have some fun.